is new features on Veeam. Okay, so the first type, now we are speaking about data. So what is data and what's data? Data nowadays is doing everything. Okay, so people can doing a lot of things related to the data. So we can use it on the cloud, mobile, edge, Internet of Things, AI, and machine learning. Okay, so we will describe each one in the separate cases. Okay, okay. So now the data is the key of everything we can do, from understanding customer better to drive more efficient business process for maximum profitability. So where did we use the data? It will be used to be siloed between application and even business units. It can now be shared and utilized effortlessly. Okay. Data protection and analysis is almost infinite with the onset of the cloud being able to store virtually bottomless amount of structured and of an unstructured data. This is related to the cloud. And for the mobile, it's a driving data collection to the new level. All now is using the mobile, advancing the way our customer interact with us while providing rich analysis on purchasing practice. For the edge and IoT devices now extended and our cloud data center boundaries collecting data outside our boundaries. For finally, AI and machine learning are pushing the boundaries of analysis, enabling faster insight to our business and adapt fast to the customer and process changes. So, what is the challenges and threats that facing your data today and the cost? First, the growth, complexity, or compliance, security. Related to the growth, what is the size of the digital data? At least it is doubling every 2 years. So that means more than 50-fold growth of the data in a little over a decade. A human and machine generated data together are growing 10 faster than traditional business. So if we can see in the number 20 million per year cost of downtime to the average business. So what about the complexity? The data grows and changes. So due to the cost of managed, it is not just storing, securing, and moving it from place to place, but also the lost opportunity or not having data where and when you need it, driving missed insight or using flawed analytics. So in this percentage, 73 percentage of organization unable to deliver uninterrupted access to app and data. For the compliance, 38 percentage say downtime has damaged brand. So the data must be online every time. For the security, 54 percentage experience loss of the customer confidence. This is the protection is always present. What we need to ensure you are protecting your IP and customer privacy. Legacy backup is not meeting your business needs. Why? Because for few last years, okay, the backup solution has a lot of traditional things, maybe related to the limitation, complexity, and flexibility, expensive. So why is for doing that? Because maybe related to the repository or the storage itself. So it is difficult to expand. It's difficult to scale or scale out. So this is a limitation. Maybe it is locked down or the specific hardware. So why? So all of this needs and things it is not enough to make the backup is easy and involved with all practice now. Okay. So if we are thinking about that, can you install and begin using in minutes? Do you know about problems before they became issue? Is your solution scalable to your business at the price point of the work of you? How portable is your data? Okay. Everything is recoverable or not? Does it just work without constant supervisor or management? Okay, so expensive also related to the thinking of the storage and how many years we can use it. So now it is easy, we can expand one by one. So this is related to the legacy backup. Okay, so what is the vision for Veeam related to these scenarios? Veeam considers the most trusted provider of backup solutions that deliver cloud data management. Okay, why? We want to give business competency they need, that their data is always on, protected, and secure, that it meets all compliance and regularity pressure that face the enterprise. For over a decade, Veeam has been leading provider of backup, recovery, and replication solutions. Here is the Veeam vision for the cloud management. So in this slide, we can speak about on the middle for your data. So we have two options, or we have three options. By the way, we can speak about private cloud. We can speak your data in public cloud. Your data in hybrid model between private and public cloud. So what is the Veeam vision in this cloud management? That you can manage all these things together. Okay, so this is an innovation of the data center and the cloud across managing all of them. So you can make backup and recovery, you can connect it to the cloud mobility, you can make monitoring and analytics for all of them, you can orchestrate and automate all of your tasks and jobs, and you can make a compliance and governance related to the security. Okay, for addressing customer needs, we are speak for the three important things. First one is the data availability, data agility, and business acceleration. For the data availability, we can using multiple legacy backup solution create more operational cost, need specific expertise to manage, and in many cases provide a substandard recovery experience. With a single intuitive approach, organizations can achieve fast, flexible, and reliable protection and recovery of all application data on-prem or on the cloud at both. Okay, so in the data agility, organizations struggle to manage data growth and adopt cloud technologies. Data management is increasingly critical for driving operational. So this is portable data unlock greater potential for innovation, leverage for environmental needed without constraint on data mobility. For the business acceleration, this you can reuse of data drives efficiency, leverage existing backup data to pursue new opportunities without increasing cost. So this about the last slide also. The leader in the cloud data management is Veeam. Why? Because it's simple, flexible, reliable. So simple because it's the visibility across the data in organization. So we can bring all things together in your data in one place, and we can do backup, replication, everything. Okay. One platform to help protect the data across the cloud for physical and virtual and cloud. Flexibility, we help to backup your manage and data from anywhere in your IT ecosystem at any time. Okay. Beyond business community, use your data to accelerate your business and drive innovation. So this is flexible. Also related to, we don't have any lockdown related to the hardware. You have more much varieties and options to use whatever you want. Okay. Reliable, as we said before, to involve the budget that you have, so we can harness the power of data to support your digital transformation. Okay. And here is we can describe each one in a separate way, but we can say them quickly. So as we said, as a sample and flexible, as we so told, it is a software defined, no hardware lockdown. We can use it any choose of your hardware. Okay, and also for the cloud, we don't have we can't buy any extra charge for the cloud usage. Okay, data mobility and the cloud native all supported. For the reliability, it just work, portable data format, and instant recovery, strong support. And we will speak about the instant recovery later. The availability platform. Here we can speak about the VBR product or Veeam Backup and Replication Support. So in this case, we can describe this this view for backup and replication, and here is our main product VBR. Okay, orchestration, monitoring, and analytics. It is called Veeam. So we can take all these for physical servers, virtual servers, software as a service like Office 365, and for cloud. So in this case, we can describe all of them virtual. We can support VMware, Hyper-V, Nutanix, AHV. Physical, we can support Windows, Linux, Oracle, EIX, software as a service, OneDrive, and Office 365. Cloud like Azure, AWS, Veeam Cloud, and IBM Cloud. So in this slide, we can speak about Veeam Cloud Data Management Platform. All the left side is speak about our cloud platform. Related to the right side, it means the acceleration business agility through automation core. So in this case, we can make backup and recovery. We can make back cloud mobility, monitoring and analytics, orchestration, automation, governance and compliance, ensuring the security and the privacy. So we have a good products, or we can speak about Veeam Availability Suite. It's about a mix between Veeam Backup and Replication plus Veeam for monitoring. Okay. So in this case, if we speak about backup and replication, so we have Veeam Backup and Replication and Veeam Backup for Office 365. Okay. And for Orchestrator, we have its own product, Veeam Availability Orchestrator. And for monitoring and analytics, we have Veeam 1. So what is the benefits from that? So we can take backup for any app, any data, any cloud from one product. In this case, if we found in Veeam Availability Suite, it's containing about Veeam Backup and Application plus Veeam. In this case, we can take backup for virtual, cloud, sorry, for virtual, and then we can make the monitoring and reporting using Veeam, and we have the separate agent for Microsoft Windows or for Linux. Okay. So maintain the availability. How we can maintain the availability? In this case, we have a lot of scenarios. We can use instant VM recovery, Veeam explorers, instant file recovery, Veeam restore to Azure or AWS. For the instant VM recovery, it is a good features from Veeam or advanced benefits, so that who can take the backup and who we want to restore this backup. Okay. For the instant VM recovery, no need to take a time for copying the data from the backup storage and back to production storage. An instant VM recovery that makes it easily in minutes or small amount of minutes that we can by using the technology vPower. vPower technology helps us to start the VM from the backup storage, and then it will be migrate the data online on the background. Okay, so it's easy that the VM it will be recovered and working in small or in 2 minutes. Okay. Veeam explorers, it is very easy to handle. It's have a lot of explorers like VM Explorer for Exchange, for Active Directory, for for Microsoft SQL. So in this case, it is not very difficult to use it. Any system admin can use this explorer to take a backup or take the restore to its application itself. For the level in instant file level recovery, it's like instant VM recovery, but on the level from the file. So we can restore guest OS file or folder directly from image-based backup without any primary steps. Veeam Restore to Azure and AWS is affordable and advanced fast recovery of Veeam, so we can restore on-prem machine to the cloud using EC2 or on Amazon and or using Azure, Microsoft Azure. Okay, we'll speak about Veeam Backup and Replication and VBR. We have multiple choices for restore options. We can restore full VM, We can make instant VM recovery as we spoke soon. Uh, we can restore guest file. We can restore application items. We can restore to the cloud. Okay. So in this slide, we will speak about Veeam backup file format. So and we have any on-prem VMware, vSphere, Microsoft, Nutanix, HV, physical server, and workstation. All of them, we can take the backup and put it on our Veeam repository. And Veeam repository mean our the storage itself. Okay. So we can take all these backups editions on our Veeam repository. And we have a good benefits that the backup format is .vpk, so we can restore any format to another one without any interruption. Okay, so but how we don't we open to this 5-10 years? Oh, so there's benefits also in Veeam. It always restore for free with what in Veeam Communication Edition, our last gift to the community, instant Veeam recovery is included, file and application item level recovery, direct restore AWS, and secure or store or so about the secure restore is a very good benefit. So if you take a backup on another place or on a DR site, and you are afraid about the network connectivity and if it can include any viruses or harmful something like that. So in the option on the secure is installed, so we can make a restore and choose this option to scan the backup when we restore it. Okay. In this case, if we have any problem or any viruses related to this backup file or to the network through the network, so Veeam send us a notification that there is there is a virus related to this scan. So when you can try to restore it, we have two options. First, you can escape this backup and abort it. Second one, you can continue but disable the network card. In this case, if you have any urgent matters on this VM and you need to restore it, so you can handle using the console by restore data and virtual machines. Okay. What is the challenges that faces us when you're using the cloud mobility? Like portability of workloads, including Azure Stack or Microsoft Azure, protecting workload across clouds, long-term retention cost and process, recovery to cloud destination. Okay, in this case, what is the solution from Veeam Vision? Okay, so this is a portable backup file that can move across clouds, integrated management experience for all destinations, cloud intelligent data retention process, simple DR to the cloud with no formatted changes, and there's a very good benefits. Okay. Also, what is the benefits from cloud mobility related to the Veeam? That we have no vendor lockdown, cloud native backup restore and DR, continuity and availability across hybrid cloud, automated data retention on the cloud. In this case, we can make workload to the cloud. For the protection, we can backup, restore, and DR for the cloud native workload without any problems. Consolidate backup data on the central Veeam repository related to the Veeam cloud tiering, infinite capacity for long-term data retention, air gap data protection. Okay, in this slide, we will speak about 47% of IT leaders are concerned that cloud workloads aren't as portable as instead. So in this case, we have good benefits related to the Veeam portability of any backup, either on-prem or on the cloud. We can take the backup even from the on-prem to Azure or AWS directly. Okay, two steps to maintain the availability across all hybrid cloud environments, recover workloads for business continuity, unlock test and development for data backup to the cloud. Okay. Related to the workload mobility also, it is easy because we can take any Veeam backup stored in any Veeam backup repository can be easily restored as a cloud-based workload in Azure or AWS. In this case, if we can find the backup on the left side, the Veeam repository or our storage, it is .vpk, it's our backup extension. So in this case, we can take the backup or we can restore it directly to Azure or to AWS. Okay. Or we can make it on the Azure Gateway server optional if we need, and or in AWS directly. Okay. By the way, this is a two ways backup and restore. So we can take the backup from on-prem and restore to the cloud and vice versa. So direct restore to AWS and Azure. Here is if we have take a look on this slide. If we see about the main office, okay. In this case, we can have our hypervisor like E6i or Hyper-V or Nutanix AHV, and we have our Veeam backup repository, and we can take this backup or restore to temporary office. In this case, we can make and extend the company network, and then we can restore directly to the temporary office. Okay. Okay. Backup of the cloud as infrastructure as a service. In this case, what is the challenge and what is the solutions estimated? Okay. Okay. Challenge that where to store the backup, where to can be restored, original platform location if it's not available, vendor lock-in and exit strategy, future platform migration. So we don't have any issues related to all these challenges because it's fixed by using Veeam. How? Where to store a backup? We can have portable backup files that can move across clouds. There is no lockdown. And where can to be restored? Cloud mobility provide restore location or any place for on-prem or on cloud or in another cloud provider. It's no problem. And what's the problem if we have original platform location not available? It is no problem. It is very easy because simple they are to the different cloud with automatic conversion. Vendor lockdown, it's no problem for us because restore flexibility due to portable backup format. So we can restore easily into another location or another vendor without any problem. Future platform migration is also not a problem because portable backup files that can move across clouds. Why backup? So we have now two main questions and why we can take the backup outside the cloud and also why we can take the backup inside the cloud. Okay. What is the benefits of using both of them? Related to backup outside the cloud, it is depend on the exit strategy, multi-cloud strategy to be in the control of your own data. So if you have a security wise or must be your data on-prem, maybe in your own that DR or tape library or something like that. So it's your choice. Testing on a different platform, maybe your data center on the cloud and you need to make a DR test on the other platform to be ensured that everything is working fine. Okay. One backup strategy and the cost. Okay. So this is from the outside the cloud division. So why we can take the backup inside the cloud? There are some consideration related to the quick restore and short term retention. Part of 3210 rule, no cost for the data out, long-term retention possible in object storage. What do we mean about part of 321 rule? So this is a rule related to the Veeam. We can speak about it. If we speak about three, so this means that you must have three copies of data, your original data and your first backup and second backup. In case if two copies are down, you have another one is working fine. Okay. And what about two? Two is related to two different backup type. So if I take the first type on NAS storage or on tape library, maybe the second type of backup maybe on the cloud or on DDoP app or something like that. Okay. And what about the one? One mean one off site loop. So if I take one of them on the main site, so I can take the other one on different site. Or if I take one on the tape library, I can take the other one on the cloud. And what about zero rule? Zero rule, this means if we have the on the virtualization level, that means that we can test about 100% of data is working fine without any downtime or without any interruption. And this we can be done by using Sure Backup as an option on our Veeam solution. And Sure Backup, maybe we can make an application test and a ping test and heartbeat test to ensure everything is working fine. Okay, what is Veeam Agents? Veeam Agents is a part of Veeam backup and replication. It is related to the physical or cloud infrastructure as a service. We have agents for Windows, we have agent for Linux, we have agent for Office 365. Okay, so we can make it at anywhere or anytime. Offered cloud mobility, data probability across multi-cloud environments, as we said before. Integrated monitoring and analytics, built-in intelligence in Veeam 1 for complete visibility. Okay. Restore data to any location, as we said before. Governance and compliance, central management, encryption, and the 3-2-1 retention option. Okay, backup with Veeam agents, as we spoke, we can take it on the cloud, like infrastructure as a service VMs or Office 365, for example. So it will be moved to Veeam performance tier, then to Veeam capacity tier, like object storage. Scale out backup repository. In this case, we have a good benefits also in Veeam that we can scale repository, compromise one or more extents. So if we have DAS storage, if we have NAS storage, DDoP appliance, we can make all this as a scale out repository, okay, and we can put all of them in one location. In this case, we can extend the standard backup repository configured in the backup infrastructure. We can add S3 compatible Azure Blob and IBM Cloud Object Storage to tier backup files with Veeam capacity tiering. This function is often referred to as cloud tier, as many partners and customers use cloud-based object storage. And this is a very good benefit that we can make all of them in one tier. Okay, related to the performance tier. Performance tier is a local storage tier in Veeam scale-out backup repository. What is the performance tiering? It's easy, efficient job management. Okay, send backup and backup copy to the single scale-out backup repository, and Veeam will choose and track the restore point of multiple storage extents placement policies. In this case, the files are placed based on the two placement policies: performance policy and the data locality policy. Okay, the last slide related to the performance tiering. And what about the Veeam capacity tiering? This automatic tiering features of Veeam scale out repository. How we can do it is native object storage integration, as we spoke before. It's unlimited capacity for long-term data retention, no double charge, okay, for storing data in the cloud, unlike other vendors or providers. So we have charged for the Veeam backup replication also only license on the on-prem or on the cloud. So it can work anytime and any numbers of copies without any extra charge. And as we said, there's no vendor log in, so you can make any secondary storage or many applications or many copies or data to another place without any charge. Immutable storage, and there is a good benefits also related to the immutable storage. So somehow a lot of people escaped about afraid about the ransomware. Okay, and the immutable storage make us we can secure our data as bit, and we can reduce the infection related to the ransomware. And how we can do that? Because the immutable storage that we can, if we speak, for example, for Amazon S3 object storage, so we have an option to make it read only. Okay, and in this case, the read only object cannot move and cannot edit this file extension, so it can reduce the infection related to ransomware. And as with this 3-2-1 in one job, you can create single backup, automatically create a second copy of the data in the same backup process. Okay. And what about the capacity maintenance? We can add the performance tier, use object storage, as we said, retire and exit. Which one of them? If we use the object storage, extend the scale out backup repository into object storage using the capacity tier for the retiring and extend. If you wanted to retire and extend in the scale out repository, set the extent to sealed and everything is will be fine. New files will not be created on the sealed extent. Wait for retention to remove the old data, then retire your extent as you want. So here is a small graph that what about we said. If we have multiple types of storage, DAS, NAS, T-top appliance, we can make them as performance tiering on one repository. And related to that, we can speak about capacity tier. So we can use S3 compatible isms on S3 bucket or object, Microsoft Azure Blob Storage, IBM Cloud Object Storage. Okay, thank you. By the way, the presentation and this session is recorded and it will be sent to you directly by email. And if you have any questions, you can send it to me.